Live from the spectacular Garden Route in South Africa. We're streaming worldwide on eradiosa.com.
Just gone 2 o'clock and it is time for Travel Tuesday with Rose. Today we're discussing all things to do with the garden route and obviously relating to our dear President's announcement last night that the beaches will be closing officially as from tomorrow. Let's just get Rose on the line and say hello. Hello Rose, where are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Where are you coming to us from today?
I'm just at home today.
Oh, okay.
Just catching up with some stuff and seeing that all the chaos has hit the garden route. So I kind of been doing my homework to see what people can do and what people can't do and what's happening out there. Yeah.
That's exactly what we're talking about today. What you can do now that the beaches are off limits. Well, as from tomorrow, just got a message here from Timothy saying Robert Beach in Plettenberg Bay is absolutely heaving with people today. Streets are parked up for miles around the beach. Everybody getting that last bit of beach and the sunshine in before the restrictions. And then, Rose, I don't know if you saw the petition going around that is going around on social media, trying to keep the beaches open. An hour ago, it was 8,000 just when I went on air at 1 o'clock. Right now, I'm not joking, it's more than doubled. We're now on 17K. Heading for 18K, 18,000 signatures. So in an hour's time, more than almost 10,000 signatures in an hour's time. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I've actually just signed it myself as well. So
Cool. Yeah, it's on our Facebook page. If you want to sign it, you're more than welcome. I don't know how much luck you'll have with it because it looks like Mr. Ramaphosa made up his mind, but you don't know. You never know.
Yeah, it's a difficult one in this situation. The beaches being closed, especially for us in the garden route, who have not that many people, not as many people as Cape Town, not as many people as KwaZulu-Natal, and so on and so forth. So, we already have half the visitors that we normally have. So, difficult. It's a difficult one for us as people in the tourism industry.
Yeah,
because beaches are part of what we have, and our pristine beaches are actually
exactly.
Great. I could very well I can understand that they close the beaches for the busy days like Christmas Day or New Year's Day or things like that, where they don't want thousands of people all gathering in one place. I can quite understand that, but and also the monitoring of it, I think that's probably why most of this is happening, because they don't actually have the human resources to actually manage these beaches that are our beaches around, which is quite strange because last year they managed the beaches. They watched watch people what they're taking onto the beaches, and I remember here in Wilderness, we were actually specifically flying on one of those busy days, and there were a lot of people on the beach, but they're not that many. There's still space between people, and I can't think of anything better than actually being out in the sunshine.
Exactly.
And
open
collecting
air.
vitamin D, which is and salt. Salt water on its own is quite healthy.
Exactly.
It's a swim in the ocean. It's a little bit bizarre for us. In one way, I think we got off a little bit light. In the regard, we got off lightly because I honestly thought they were going to close restaurants and
same here.
Crazy stuff. But obviously they have to consider economies. But we also had the sad case of some people deciding they're just leaving the area.
Oh,
which means
no.
of less economy. People deciding they're just going to go home, which is quite sad. Anyway, regardless of that, we're here to talk about the stuff we can do.
Yes.
And I've had a couple of chats. I had a chat to Annelie from Mossel Bay Tourism, and to Patty from Plet. I didn't hear anything from Jonas yet. And I also tried to get hold of Nandi, but she must have had a rather busy morning.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Nandi from St. Parks. Yeah. So it looks like most of the activities are actually open. It's just literally the beach access. So anywhere in the garden route you can basically go, as long as there's a controlled entry, as long as you are wearing a mask, as long as you are signing in, having your temperature taken and sanitizing your hands. So in that regard, I think that's okay. So all activities in the Mossel Bay region, water activities, so they have the scuba diving is still going, the shark watching is still going, the boat rides are still going from the harbour. So all those ocean activities are open, and people are welcome to join that. I know that there was also a mention of discrepancy of the beaches and limitations, but that is still not for me to say what's going to happen there in regard with with what's going to be the final outcome of that. Still too early to know. But regardless of the beaches, Mossel Bay, I mean, there's a lot more. Obviously there's some of the rivers areas, can't see how they can stop people from going to all the rivers. I don't know how, I don't know if it's the main areas that are just monitored, but I know in Grootbroek, I mean, there's a river picnic area where people camp sometimes. I know that Gourit, on the Gourit side, I mean, it's probably pretty quiet there on that river, which is quite nice. I don't know what Bochumsbaai and Vleesbaai will be like. Obviously still beaches, but they're very small, tiny beaches as well, and there's lots of space. It looks like, if you can't do the beaches, then obviously head for the mountains, do a little road trip. Head to Oudtshoorn. Oudtshoorn is open, except Colleen tells me that just the zip line, the Kango zip line is closed. She didn't give me a reason, but basically that's it. But it's a nice drive out there. There's some beautiful places to visit. The Maringspoort area is still there, which is lovely in the Rust area. Yeah, there's quite a lot to do in that regard, and of course, the passes, mountain passes. There's the museums you can visit. I don't know if the Oceanico Museum will be open. It depends on it depends on the municipalities. Didn't get a final answer for that one, so you just have to keep your eye. I think in Mossel Bay they had it once when I was there last. They actually closed the museums and stuff. But yeah, we'll see. You'll just have to kind of work your way around the legislations of municipality, I guess. So yeah. Then of course wilderness. If you head yourself to wilderness side, there's still the Caimans. I can't, that you can still hire a canoe from the Caimans, head for the waterfall, which is lovely. It's also in the water. Obviously there's limited space. So make sure that you get early and go out and paddle, come back. I know I've spoken to Chris from Eden Adventures, and they're still operating because they're controlled. So hop onto a canoe in the wilderness and you're welcome to go and paddle out. And of course the paragliding is still going, so the paragliding guys are still flying. So you can find them in one of the launch sites. There is a little bit of a discrepancy of landing on the beaches, but I think that is okay. You can, as long as you just land and get off the beach. That's if they don't land on the top. It depends on the wind strength. Yeah. And then, of course, all the hikes are still open. I mean, as far as I know, there's all the sand parks. When I spoke to Colleen Durant from Knysna Tourism, she was still saying that all the activities for the hiking, so Jubilee Creek, all those places are still open. But the sand parks controlled, obviously. Sand parks control all their stuff in that regard. And then she also mentioned in I'm not sure what is going to be the regulations around Sedgefield Estuary, but I can imagine that the estuary should be open, so you can still hop on a canoe or a boat, I hope, and head out to do some fishing or just play along the lagoon area. But obviously the mouth and Maholi beaches and all those will be closed, and same as the Swartvlei Beach and Heracus, I can imagine. But the estuary is still there, and hiking around that area. And of course, as we move towards Knysna, all the lagoon, all the estuaries activities are open. So boating, you can still go sup, you can still go get on canoe, and that's the bonus about Knysna in that regard, is because the town is basically situated on the estuary. And Sandparks is open to, as long as there's controlled access and controlled, if you're going to do an activity, the sailing, that kind of stuff. That is how I understood it. Everything else she sent me on the list was open. So I can just imagine that it would be Buffalo Bay that has no access, and of course Renton Beach. And then when I spoke to Patty just said to me everything's open. I can imagine just the Plet beaches would be closed, but the estuary, the lagoon, then the areas also seems to be open. So we'll have to take it day by day and see how they decide what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. But as far as I know, if it's a control point and there is COVID regulations in place, you are allowed to enter.
Yeah, and I see Birds of Eden also open. Thank goodness. Please support them.
Yeah, and
it's a beautiful place to take your family.
Yeah, I've spoken to Pfeiffer this morning. She was the first person to tell me that they are definitely open. So, and that's such a lovely activity. And
it's stunning.
The whole Craigs actually is great. I mean, there's the little boutique wine farms, and between Jakani, Birds of Eden, and Monkeyland, you could spend a whole day just entertaining yourself in that regard. And there's around there, so I mean, I know that Fiver and Laura have been working their butts off to actually make things absolutely marvelous for everybody out there. So definitely, that's a definite one. And of course, then the bridge jumping, the Face Adrenaline is still open. The Kranshoek zip lines are still open. So if you really, 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 really need to find an activity that suits you, whether it's a rainy day, whether it's for kids, that you something you want to do, there are quite a few places. I would advise to go for you to go to your local tourism office and in town, and just ask them which activities are
open,
operational,
available.
Which aren't operational, but as far as except for the beaches, the people seem to be quite adamant about that, which is great. And there's no reason for you to rush home. I think there's more reason to stay. And if you can't go and sit on the beach, go and discover. It's giving you opportunity to actually discover new places. I know that the back roads from Plet to Knysna, Komsapata area is absolutely wonderful in those forests. On a hot day, it's beautiful and cool under the trees. Those kind of places have picnic spots, hiking spots you can go to, which you can enjoy as well. So I think there is still a lot to do, and it might just add a little bit to our inquisitive natures, and also add a little bit to what we can find out in places that we never knew about. So there's always opportunity in things, I think.
Yeah.
And so if you're a family that does not necessarily want to go out there and spend money, just do a little bit of research and see where you can go. I know for one, I would, if I was a young family with kids, I would definitely go head up to Jubilee Creek and have a picnic on that beautiful, cool stream and hike to the waterfall,
yes.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Now you're
that
talking.
on its own. And Drip Calders only takes a limited amount of people, but I mean, they really, it's a nice little hike down, and then go and swim in those dark pool waters and hike out. So that's for the more adventurous kind. And of course, in wilderness, the hike to the waterfall is always a bonus. And that's also regulated, so you're more than welcome. And there's a few other little, and Daverfeed also had a hike. I mean, as I said, the Caimans, you can paddle to the waterfall. So there are still water places that you can visit and enjoy as well. I think around Swartvlei area, there's definitely an opportunity. Maybe at Island Lake area where they do some boating and canoeing, it could be an opportunity for you as well. I know that they're putting limitations on the Tow River, which is the Tow River mouth, which is quite busy over season, so they probably are not allow people there. I can imagine the same would account for Nature's Valley, because that estuary down there is also lovely to explore. It is a lot of times it's closed. So, but it would be an opportunity to see if you can maybe get down there. Also, it's a very fine line between what is beach and what's not beach. The regulations stipulate that it's between low water and high water, which, it's a very fine line. And I think people are quite resilient. They'll find some ways of enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Or finding a spot that they might be able to enjoy. But if you just make sure that you stick to the regulations, keep yourself safe, which I think is probably the most important thing in this time, is basically making sure that you're keeping yourself safe.
Yeah.
And your family. And also, I forgot what I wanted to say next.
No worries, Rose. We're going to wrap it up now, but thank you so much. You've been really helpful today, and some really, really good tips there and advice and nice spots. You always have the best spots, and I really hope that the families aren't heading back. Stay where you are and enjoy the other activities. We're not just beaches. We've got way more than beaches. Yeah. The beaches are lovely, but we've got more,
No, absolutely. I just think a little bit of homework, just a little bit of initiative, and I would recommend people going to their tourism offices and actually asking people where they can go. And, if you've got kids and so on and so forth, there's definitely opportunities. Don't leave our beautiful area. There's still lots to do, lots to see. Just come here, relax, read a book, enjoy yourself. There will definitely be opportunity for everything.
Cool. You've been very, very helpful. You helped immensely this afternoon, Rose. Thank you so much. By the way, just before you go, that petition's now heading for 18,500 people. Yo, okay. They're aiming for 25k now, so we'll see. Probably by later this afternoon, we'll be above 25k. We'll see. Anyway, Rose, thanks so much as always, and then we'll talk again soon.
Great, I'll speak to you next week.
Thanks, Rose. Take care of yourself.
You too. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.